My name is Judy Taylor, and I have been a therapist for Catholic Family Service for almost 21 years. 20 years I stayed home and raised children and didn't go to school and never even thought about it. The reason I returned to school so many years after I got out was so that I could work with grief and loss. Because my husband and I lost our 16-year-old son Frank 30 years ago in a sudden accident. We had two other children at the time, a 19-year-old daughter, Melanie, and a 4-year-old daughter, Shannon. And back in the 1980s, there were support groups for the loss of a child, and we got into one of the support groups, ended up facilitating it, really enjoyed the company. It helped us so much with our grief, and by facilitating the group, it actually helped us more than probably it did the people that came. We had usually between 30 and 50 people at a meeting. There weren't very many studies back then about people who miss children. Suddenly, there are many more studies now, and they've discovered that a sudden, and especially a sudden violent death, is extremely hard for parents to overcome and get to a point where they can live happy lives again. Losing a child is a gut-wrenching tragedy. And when it happens, you're thrown directly into a state of deep shock. You have no time to prepare yourself. You have no time to pray. You have no time to even consider that something like this might happen in your life. And on our film today, we will be hearing from two mothers, Yvonne Coswell, whose daughter was murdered, and Tammy Slayton, who lost her son in an accidental overdose.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Coswell, and my daughter, Sadia Ruby Coswell, was 20 when she was murdered. And at the time, she was 7 months pregnant, and the baby was born dead and resuscitated back to life. And after several months of being in the hospital, he survived, and he is now in my care. My daughter was fatally stabbed by a lover's triangle, and at the time I had no idea what was going on. I was awakened by a phone call, and they told me that she had been stabbed and she was on the way to Medical Center East, and they ended up airlifting her to UAB so they could do an emergency C-section on her to get the baby out. And thank God they saved him, because I have full care and custody of him. He's now 6 years old, and my daughter's been deceased 6 years. The same day that my daughter was deceased, my grandson was born. And it was only about a 30-minute window in the time that he was born and she passed. My daughter also had a 2-year-old little girl at the time, who's now 9, and even with everything that happened with my daughter and my grandson, my 9-year-old grandbaby was also molested by a family member. And I ended up finding a place to reach out to, because I felt like I was going to go crazy. I knew I wasn't crazy, but I felt like I was going to lose it, because so much happened to me in such a short period of time. And I was thinking, how could anybody go through all of what I'm going through and not be crazy? But I reached out. Someone gave me the number to the counseling center, and I reached out and I came to counseling. And it has helped me tremendously. I am now 6 years into my situation, and I'm coping a whole lot better because I have a guardian angel. And in that, it helps me know that I can make it. And I know that I'm not crazy. She always tells me, I'm not crazy, I'm in a crazy situation. And I take that for what it's worth, and it helps me get through these days that are not always easy. And I hope and pray that if anybody does need help, that they do reach out to the group, and they do get help, and they do find someone to talk to, so that they understand they're not alone. You are never alone. There's always someone else out here going through something that can relate to your situation.
My name is Tammy Slayton, and I am here because my son Tyler Chase Heitch died on April the 7th, 2012. It was sudden, it was unexpected, and it was absolutely devastating to me, to my entire family, to our lives, and to his children. It was completely out of context when we thought 1 minute that you're talking to him on the phone, and the next minute the phone calls back to you telling you that he's not alive anymore. So you go into a whirlwind of, you really just go into a freeze stage. And that's, I guess, the most important stage for you to have the right people around you. So my purpose for wanting to even be a part of this is because nobody should go through what I went through and not have the right educated people around you to guide you to safety, because you do need safety. You need a new life, and you need a new way of living, and the only way you're going to understand it is to find help. You can do it the hard way, or you could do it the way that I chose, which was to seek counseling, and I suggest that for anybody that's going through this. I can't imagine surviving this without coming back and getting some counseling and getting some help, because the only people that can help you are the people that understand what you don't. And that's what I found in counseling. I found that I didn't have to come in and look happy. I could come in and just fall out, and instead of being looked at like I was crazy, I was looked at like, here, you're going to need some more because there's more coming. And so you don't want to be told that everything's going to be all right, because how could you lose a child and anything ever be all right for the rest of your life? Because it won't, but it will be better. It's just you have to find the tools to work with. And that's my purpose for this whole thing, is I learned that this is stages that I'm going through, and that they're going to continue. It's not going to stop, but there are people that can help, and you need this help more than you know.
All of these deaths are shocking and unexpected. Not one parent or grandparent could have predicted this. Such total shock sets in that it is months or even years before the event really sinks into the parent's brain. 6 years later, you may still double over occasionally with shock, thinking, this really happened, my child really died. It's like getting hit in the stomach with a 2x4, except that 6 years down the road, it doesn't take you as long to recover from that instant shock as it does 6 months after. And the moments become less and less frequent. Bereaved parents have so many questions. Why? Why my child? Where was God when this happened? Hope and healing come slowly, but they do come. My husband and I led the support group for 6 years, and we watched a tremendous amount of people come in and out. And we could tell that it really, really made a difference. At Catholic Family Services, we are offering a support group for bereaved parents at this time. If your child has died a sudden death, your grandchild, your sibling, or a close friend. And you will find that there is life for you after the death of a child, even though it doesn't seem like it at first. At a meeting, you can cry, you can laugh, you can scream, you can say how angry you are or guilty you feel, and the other people sitting around the table know just exactly how you feel, because they feel that way too. This group will be led by a trained therapist, which is me, and people who have been in the group long enough to deal with their own issues can be trained as volunteers to help with new people who come into the group. We will have a small library and material on group, and we will also be involved in community education with businesses, funeral homes, schools, and we will have speakers occasionally at our group meetings. Come and join us, and I think you will find hope and healing.
My name is Crystal Mullen Johnson. I am a social worker at Catholic Family Services. I primarily provide counseling services to children. Children are very different from adults, and they may react differently after experiencing a loss. The death of a parent or sibling can be very difficult for a child. Children expect their parents to grow old. Sudden death heightens a child's anger and rage. You may recognize the following symptoms after a child experiences a sudden loss: a change in their appetite, changes in their sleep pattern, social withdrawal, poor school performance, a need for attention. Please remember, children are not miniature adults. If your child is in need for counseling, CFS is here for you. Please contact us directly and we would love to provide the service to you. Thank you.
Please join us for this free grief support group. It's open to all people of all faith. For more information, please give us a call. The number is 205-324-6561. Thank you and have a great day.